Hello YouTube, it's me again, Christy Cobra. I know, it has been like maybe a year or so since I have done an independent video on my channel. Anyway, today I've been sent from a really close friend of mine a interesting video. A video in particular being about cartoon snakes. I am one as well, but like, I'm virtual, so it's like I don't even exist as an actual toon yet. I'm still waiting to hear from DreamWorks. Get on it, DreamWorks. The Bad Guys 2 isn't even complete yet till August. I have a deadline here. Anyway, the video is, which of these cartoon snakes will win on a fight here? This video being made by Teedla Squared, and the original tweet being done by an individual known as the Decidui Guy. So yeah, let's begin.
Hello and welcome to another one of whatever I'm doing on the internet again today. And many moons before I started production on this, I saw this this Twitter post about cartoon snakes, and it really got me thinking. Which of these snakes is gonna win? And here's my in-depth analysis on who's gonna win. This video is going to contain spoilers, and this is specifically in relation to the film versions of these characters, considering that Ka and Mr. Snake are from books, which means I'll be referencing Disney's The Jungle Book, Kung Fu Panda, Rango, and The Bad Guys. So let's start chronologically. We have Ka, a public domain character. Very unique. In theory, could basically go Super Saiyan if I weren't looking at a specific version. So what do we know about Disney's Ka? Ka is an Indian python and a wild animal. Ka is also apparently 30 feet long. Sure. I think Once Upon a Studio is the only time that we see Ka's full body ever. However, that is a short film and not one of the 2 Jungle Book movies, so it doesn't count. And most importantly, I'm not doing that math. Following that is Ka's most famous ability, being hypnosis. In Disney's Jungle Book, it appears to work on humans and animals alike, and is Ka's preferred way of subduing prey before killing it. However, it requires direct eye contact to work. Additionally, some time is required for the hypnosis to take effect, with targets also being able to resist the effects, with the target either taking longer to respond to hypnosis or being outright immune.
Before eating on the prey.
I can't be bothered with that. I have no time for that sort of nonsense.
Additionally, Ka seems to be particularly flexible, winding up in all sorts of different shapes without any support, and judging from the slapstick comedy focused around the character, Ka seems particularly durable. However, Ka appears to be the slowest moving of all the snakes, and despite Ka's nose, he appears to have sinus problems. This might have been a lie that was told, but he also complains about it. However, I'm not really sure if this is an actual problem, because as a snake, Ka smells with his tongue. Also, it appears to be that the animals of Disney's Jungle Book, while they are depicted with some human level of intelligence, are not that intelligent, as they have not grasped how to make fire yet, so I'm just gonna rank him as the dumbest of the snakes. And for the power scalers out there, it would appear that Ka does not need to be bloodlusted to want to kill stuff, so that's something.
Hey guys, it's me again. I forgot what the joke to transition between segments was, so I'm talking to you from a virtual McDonald's bathroom as I try to figure out how to make this eye work.
I'm virtual too.
Alright, bye. Here's the rest of the video.
But like not on VR.
Thank you, other me. We are now back talking about Kung Fu Panda, the Jack Black movie. Master Viper of the Furious Five is a Chinese green tree viper. Who would have guessed? First and foremost, Master Viper is a master of Kung Fu, particularly a variant of snake style that does not require limbs. Among these Kung Fu feats includes launching yourself several meters into the air, otherwise known as jumping. However, probably more impressive feats include knocking Tai Lung off this bridge with a single strike. For reference, a male snow leopard weighs about 127 pounds, and he was specifically gripping onto the ropes here, so that is something. And this here, where she is at least partially responsible for breaking this giant stone axe thing. We have some more durability as seen when what I'm going to assume would rip anything else's spine apart. She can catch Poe and then be stretched to reel him back in like a fishing line, so that's something. Also going to add may or may not be warm-blooded as suggested by her traveling through snow, and does not appear to be a problem. Green tree vipers are venomous with a potent hemotoxin. According to Wikipedia, we have the wound usually feels extremely painful, as if it had been branded with a hot iron, and the pain does not subside until about about 24 hours after being bitten. Within a few minutes of being bitten, the surrounding flesh
Oh,
dies
yeah,
and
she's
turns
venomous
black,
for sure,
highlighting the
too.
puncture wounds. The wound site quickly swells and the skin and muscle become black
I
due
don't
to
remember if
necrosis. The
Caw
size
is
of the necrotic
venomous,
area
but I
depends
think
on the
he
amount of venom
probably
injected
might
and the
be.
depth of the bite. And now to
I
move
don't
on to
know.
weaknesses. According to Secrets of the Furious 5,
Is that-
Viper does
wait,
not
is
have
those
fangs.
Pokemon
I don't know if
types?
that necessarily
those are
implies she
Pokemon
does not have
types.
venom. However, that is
The
a
kind of
problem with
Pokemon I think I
injecting
would
it.
be
I'm not
if
going to
I were
consider this
one would
because
be
I'm
an
only looking
Arbok.
at the movies.
For
Also,
those that
Viper has
compare
a
me
weakness
only to
to
the
cannons,
Ikans,
more
I'm coming for
specifically
you.
being
I'm
hit
coming
with
for
a
you.
cannonball.
I'm an Arbok,
I'm pretty sure most
okay?
people do have this weakness. However, the idea of firearms in general is new to Viper. While it is possible that Poe could have taught the Furious 5 how to redirect firearm projectiles, this is not something seen in any of the films, so we are not counting this as a viable
Only
defense.
Poe
Considering
does
that we are in
that,
an
yeah.
episode of Death Battle, effectively, this raises the question, is Viper willing to kill someone?
Yes,
While
with
I
her
don't believe
kung fu.
Viper is shown actually killing
Duh.
anyone, I believe that would be an implication of her fight with Tai Lung and Lord Shen, so I'm going to put that on
Of
yes.
course,
Unlike
yes.
Caw, it would appear that should Viper kill someone, she is fine, leaving the corpse to get cold.
Hello, it is I, Sheriff Rango.
What are
and
you
I'm gonna
doing
be
here,
telling you
Johnny
about our
Depp?
next
No, never
contestant.
mind. That's
That
not
is
Johnny Depp.
Rattlesnake Jake
Never mind.
from my movie.
Oh,
now,
I love
you see,
Rattlesnake Jake.
Rattlesnake
I
Jake
love him
has
so
a
much.
impressive amount of ability. Number
Funny
one,
story.
he has
I
venom.
remember when I was
Used
first,
as
like,
an intimidation
newly
tactic,
married
it was
to
very
Mr.
scary.
Snake.
I was called
And
out
like,
on my
this
bluff.
is the one crush I like
Also,
never
spoilers
told
for
him
the movie
about
Rango.
until, like,
Jake is
weeks
also
later
very
or
dexterous with
something.
his Gatling
like,
gun
well,
rattle there.
Snake is all
That's made
cool
out of
with me,
revolvers.
I
In that he
think,
can
but,
take
like,
a revolver
it was just
and then he
one
can
of those
remove
times where I
5 out of
just
6
forgot
bullets. The
to
other
tell
thing you
Mr.
might have
Snake I had a
noticed
crush
is
on
that Jake
Rattlesnake
has a
Jake, even
gun.
if I married
Is a
Snake.
gun.
Like,
He's a
that's
cyborg
just
gun
me, you
snake.
know.
No one else is that.
A
However,
cyborg?
with that
Wait,
being
so
said, we
Rattlesnake
also need
Jake
to remember
is
that
a
he's from hell.
cyborg.
So maybe that's just normal there.
Ooh.
Sign the
I think that could explain the mechanical gun part. Oh my god.
What do you think I could?
His voice is so
Now-
sexy too.
Now, the final
kind
thing
of
we
like
need to talk about
Cause
is Jake's weaknesses.
Oh
Weakness number 1.
my.
Jake is afraid of hawks. 2.
Afraid
Jake
of
is rash,
hawks.
as seen
Huh.
in the movie.
I think because
And number
they're
3, and
predators,
most
just
importantly
like
for this,
his
Jake
snakes,
is
then like
the size
we
of
would
a
be
standard
predators.
Western
That
Diamondback
makes
rattlesnake.
sense, though,
Like
yeah.
Viper, Mr. Snake is shown to be various
Holy-
sizes. I'm just going to
holy
put a good old
crap.
12 feet on there and call that a
Oh,
day.
there
What
we
is
go.
Mr.
Now we
Snake?
got to the
In the
best
movie,
part.
Mr.
Now
Snake
we
is
got to the
portrayed
best
as
part.
a Burmese python. This gives us a second constrictor. The abilities of Mr. Snake include being a safe cracker. He does
Me
this through the use
too.
of his exceptional hearing, which is particularly exceptional considering that
Me
as
too.
a snake, typically they have very poor hearing.
Me
he
too.
is the only
I
one
can
to
shit
also
on
explicitly
command
state that he
too.
can taste
But
air.
like, the way I do it is like a little, like infrequent compared
Other
to
abilities
him.
include being able to
Because
store
like
things
he's
in his
done the
stomach,
shedding way
like
more than I
batteries
have.
and alarm clock.
The last time
Very
I've ever
interesting.
shedded
As an extension of
was
this ability,
that
Mr.
when
Snake
we
is
were
also
on
able to
hi-
consume
it was the
large
heist
quantities
where
of
we were
food
on
in a
Golden
relatively
Dolphin,
short amount of time,
and,
as seen when he basically ate an
we
entire
had
pet store
two,
and then tried to
I
eat 2 people,
think.
and then I believe ate a police dog and ate a room full of guinea pigs. The guinea
Oh,
pigs at
yes.
least were unharmed. It
I
would
love
appear.
that
Similar
scene,
to Master
the guinea
Viper, Mr.
pigs.
Snake appears to be warm-blooded considering how much food he consumes.
Oh, I love those bread
He
slices
seems to
too.
have a preference towards
And he
ice
can
pop
even
with
eat
no
push
negative
pops.
effects on the
Yeah,
ice
I
pop
love
itself,
push
at
pops
least. While
too.
this ability is more
His
likely
favorite
accredited
being
to
orange,
Mr. Shark,
and my
Mr.
favorite
Snake
being
is able to
strawberry.
make use of relatively poor disguises to
Yeah.
surprising effect, and that appears to
I
be an
love
extension of
this
some sort of
scene.
cartoony,
I love this
rule
scene
of
so
funny
much.
behavior. With that, we have minor amounts of shapeshifting, with his teeth
Shape-shifting?
ranging
Well,
from a fang
not
and a partially
really,
broken
no,
fang
it's
to
just
a
only
mouthful
with the
of
clutch.
human molars
Kind of
to
same with me,
cartoony
but, like,
triangle teeth.
I'm kind of
Following
horrible
that,
with
Mr. Snake
disguising my
appears to have
voice.
enhanced
Unlike
abilities
Mr. Shark,
situationally,
he's like a
seemingly
real,
following the same
like,
rules of his
master
disguise
disguise
and
for
teeth
sure.
shapeshifting.
Hold still, will ya?
Oh, is that Roger Rabbit? I once cosplayed as his wife Jessica. I
You could have taken your hand out of that cuff at any time.
I think I'd like to like bring out the cosplay if you want.
And regarding feats of dexterity,
Oh,
Mr.
he can
Snake
play
is able
bass
to play a
guitar.
guitar
Snake
without
can play
any
bass
hands.
guitar.
perhaps the most incredible
I
ability
play the
is
lead
being able to
guitar,
get a
too,
pretty
in the
good
band.
read on people he's only
Pra
recently
sing
met,
male
which he's been
lead,
able to
I
use to
sing
orchestrate
female
a
lead.
relatively complex
But
plan.
yeah.
So I'm going to tier list this for who's most likely to win. In F tier, we have
The unknown
Caw.
Pokemon,
Despite
that's
Caw having
funny.
the obvious size and assumed strength advantage, these don't seem to be particularly useful against the skill sets of the other snakes,
Yeah,
as their
that's,
general movement
that's
speed
awesome.
and dexterity is
I
going
think
to be better
also
at evading
Mr.
Caw to
Snake
begin
does
with,
hypnosis,
and
but by
considering the
the,
context
like,
of a
method
fight,
of
none
the
of them
mind
are
control
likely
helmet.
to lower their guard enough
Kinda
to
the
be
same thing
hypnotized.
with me,
Following
to
this,
be
I'm going to
fair.
go with Mr.
Although I
Snake,
naturally
despite,
could do
cartoon laws
hypnosis like
applying.
Caw,
His skill set
but
does
like
not seem
not
particularly
quite as
combat
good.
oriented, instead
I
focusing
guess.
on stealth,
'Cause
preferring
I'm
to
still
avoid
learning.
combat
I'm still
altogether.
learning.
Up next, we have Rattlesnake Jake and Master Viper, who I'm going to say situationally win against each other. The biggest thing that Jake has going for him is the fact that he has a gun, which
Yeah,
I
he
don't
has
really know how to
armed
describe a gun
weaponry.
other than
He
a
has
smaller,
armed
faster
weaponry.
cannon, even if
Jake
individual
does.
shots are doing less damage.
And he
From what is
drinks
shown
his
throughout
venom
the movies,
in
Jake
wine
appears
glass
to be the least
or
durable
something.
of them all,
Yeah,
falling
his
under
way of
a
extracting
glass
venom
cannon
is
category. As his
interesting.
interaction with Sheriff Frango would suggest, the Chameleon's revolver would appear to be lethal, at least at close range.
It only takes one bullet.
While there's not enough information to really determine how
Takes
good of a
one
shot
bullet
Jake
to
is, something
shoot
towards
off
Jake
your
being a decent
head,
shot
Jake.
is when he
Or
is able to
disconnect.
shoot Wounded Bird from on top of the
It's
tower
just only the
relatively
hawk
quickly.
that
It should be
scares
known he's
him.
shown, however, using at least
But
3
I
bullets
just
to
was
do so.
kidding
I would
around.
assume that he was aiming for center of
Because,
mass,
like,
but
well,
only managed
Rango,
to hit
he was
Wounded
about to-
Bird's
he was about
shoulder.
to
We have
kill
a bit more
Jake.
evidence suggesting he's not
But
the
yeah.
sharpest shooter out there, as when he shoots at the bats while they're grouped together, he only manages to land body shots on 2 of the bats, everything else hitting their wings, only managing to take down 7 total before he runs out of ammo. Additionally, there is his fear of the hawk. While this is more than likely due to predation, it is also
Yeah, he
possible
has
he is
so
not
much
confident in his
bullets,
ability to
but
shoot
then
the
he
hawk
run out
while
of
it is
the
in the air.
bullets.
This leads to the rather
No
unsurprising
bullets?
conclusion that,
Kinda
like
like
everyone
Looney
else, he
Tunes
struggles to
kinda
hit
thing?
faraway moving targets. Who would have guessed that? And he may not be the most conservative with
Yeah,
his ammo. Considering his
that's kind
size
of a
in comparison to the
disadvantage
rest
here.
of the movie's cast, it is likely that he prefers simply intimidating and overpowering most of his opponents. Tactic likely not
I
to work
wish
very
he
well
could
against Master
intimidate
Viper. I'm not going to be
me.
taking Venom into consideration, as neither of them have shown any proclivity towards biting their opponents. Taking these factors into account, I would assign the win to Jake. In this situation, he's able to get enough shots that actually land on Master Viper before he runs out of bullets, while Master Viper's speed and agility would likely allow her to avoid the majority of these bullets. Considering that she's about 12 feet long and snakes are full of organs, more than likely she's going to get hit a couple of times. However, I believe she'd be able
Oh,
to
then I'm probably
power
a little
through enough to
shorter than
actually
Viper.
deal with Jake.
About
In conclusion, I
11-ish
would like
feet,
to assign about a
sorta,
35
like
to
a little
40%
shorter
win rate to
than how
Rattlesnake
tall
Jake, assuming that his
Snake
bullet
is.
RNG goes
He's
well. I believe
like,
the majority of
20
wins,
feet
however,
tall,
should be
according
assigned
to his
Master
mugshot.
Viper. As bullets aside, she appears to be the most combat suited of the 4 snakes, and the only one explicitly stated to be trained for any sort of combat.
Yeah, so now it's pretty unclear about who the clear victor is. And now, if I were in the fight, I would have fought on Mr. Snake's side, because of course I'm his wife. But this was still a pretty interesting video to take my time and go watch before I go over and watch Wild Robot in theaters. I recommend for you all to go see Wild Robot in theaters. I heard it's a pretty good movie. But yeah. I will see you guys on my channel whenever I, well, feel like making content. But in the meantime, I have this video and many other previous videos I probably might have on here. But yeah. I might see you soon. I don't know when. But yeah. I mostly will be a guest on Nikki Rossler's streams. So check those out. But yeah. See you. Bye.